Hi everyone, Raquel here from Scrapcosy. Today I'll share with you the final card I've prepared for the mini-series of videos called Christmas Cards Ideas. I wanted to create a shabby chic style card and I was inspired by a card that my friend Ada gave me. I'll link her Instagram account in the description section below. She does beautiful things and now she's into lettering and I just love what she does. Check her out. Also, with this video I want to celebrate with you this festive season and the fact that you helped me reaching 4,000 subscribers. I'm over the moon. So as a thanks to you, I'll be doing a very special giveaway. One of you will be able to have the chance to win one of my latest and still not released stamps. I'll give more details at the end of the video. Okay, enough intro talking. Now grab a warm drink, get cozy, and let's start with this final Christmas card. First, I'm using Gesso. This one is by Ranger. This is a Spanish shop, but you can use any Gesso there. And then I'm using a very rough brush to just draw on top of a craft sheet paper. Now I'm going to clean my brush, and with that dirty water I'm just adding some splashes of Gesso here and there. And I'm making sure I dry it very well for the next step, which is stenciling. For that I'll use metallic gilding polish paint by Cosmic Shimmer, the chocolate one. It's like a bronze. And then I'll apply it with a sponge. It comes with a sponge but it's too dry, so I'm just getting a piece of cotton dry foam and then I'm going to stencil on top. You could always recover the sponge that they give you and put it in water, and then at some point it will be okay to go again, but I didn't have that patience at this point, so I just grabbed a new sponge and worked over the surface. So I'm just making sure that I put some of that stenciling, not everything covered, just a little bit, all over the surface, and that will add some metallic touch to this card. And once I finish with that, I'll move to the next step, which is applying grunge paste. And I'm placing the stencil exactly in the same position as before, and I will apply to less spots than before. So the trick here is to kind of get a partial coverage, so I can still see my gold, or bronze in this case, through the stencil. That will give me like a decadent vintage look, shabby chic maybe. And I'm heat setting between the two parts to make sure that I don't destroy what I just stenciled with the grunge paste. Once all it's dry, I'm going to use Infusion's Rusty Card, which is like an orange color, and I'm going to apply here and there over the edges kind of, and then I'm going to spray with some water and then blob the excess with a towel just to add some color. Now I'm heat setting very well from the two sides of the paper, and then I'm testing my base, which I will again paint in that bronze color, just the edges, you don't need more. So the frame around my card will be bronze with that metallic touch. So I'm covering all that. And now I'll work on another piece of craft paper that will be for my sentiment. And I'm testing here two finishes. One with random, kind of more strong maybe, finished of infusions, and the other one with just some droplets. And I'm adding more droplets on the other part of the card. And more water, and then some touches of this orange here and there to add more color on top of the grunge paste and the whole card. And once I'm happy with the color, I'm going to heat set both pieces and I'm going to stencil now my sentiment. I decided that I'll work on the second part of the card, so this that I'm doing here is just a test to decide which embossing powder I'll use, if City of Angels or Coconut Eyes. So I'm going to see both results. Both look beautiful really, but for this card you'll see that I finally will choose the Coconut Eyes. I don't know, I thought that a proper white was better, and mixing two metallics, this one is gold and the other one is bronze, was not fitting that much. You cannot see here very well the finish, but I thought that when comparing it against my piece, I preferred better the white version. I used also this embossing powder, the Coconut Eyes, in a previous card series video, so I'll add the link now for you to check it. So now I'm doing the final piece, the one that I actually liked, so I'm going to work on that surface with coconut eyes while my grunge paste is wet. I'm retrieving the powder with that piece of paper, closing the lid, and heat embossing with my heat tool. And I'm moving it around so I don't burst it. Now I'm going to place the different elements that will decorate my base. So I'm using this fabric, which I also used in a different video. I'll link to it right now. It was the previous one in the series, and I kind of used those elements as well. Now I'm going to tear apart this piece. Don't be afraid. It's just to make room for my sentiment, which will show between the two pieces. So that's how it's gonna work. So I'm going to do 2 cuts there. And that's the idea for the card. So I need to tear that too. And I'll mount this eventually. But first, some tweaks. I'm going to use Vintage Photo Distress, the regular one, to add some touches in all the edges of my card. And I'm also applying on the sentiment in the middle to make it a bit darker and to have like more character. And once I'm happy with the inking, I'm going to apply more details, more distressed and more aged, with a different thing. I'm going to just cut with some scissors or my hands, put some water on those cuts, and fold those pieces of paper towards the inside. I'm just adding some cracks and some, well, faded parts on that piece, also on those corners and different parts of the card. So that will add some age to it and some interest and some gaps through which you'll see later that I'll add some gauze there and also some crackle paste. So, well, you'll see that it will have a lot of detail, this card. The only thing is that, well, you may not see it in the pictures as much, but there is a lot of detail there. So hopefully my receiver will appreciate it. So I'm just putting there the Merry Christmas, positioning it. Now I'm drawing where it should be, so I know where to, well, glue it back. And now I'll work a little bit more on there with more vintage distress photo and more character on those sides as well. And also, to add more texture to the paper, you can always kind of crumble it a little bit, like I'm doing here, so you get some wrinkles. And then with a sponge dauber, you can highlight them a little bit. And then once I'm happy, I'm going to glue it with Modpodge. I put a little bit of Modpodge in that container, just while I'm sticking everything in place. And I'm pressing down, and that will be my main piece. And I'll work now on the other 2 sides. But before that, I'm going to decorate them. So a bit more of vintage photo. There's never enough. You can always add a little bit more and it will look even better. And now I'll decorate those with the pieces of fabric, which again I attach with some Modpodge, just in one corner. And I'm going to fold the fabric to the back to hide it. And you will not see this part because I'm going to stick it on the other part, the one that has that metal border, so it will be hidden there. And now I'm going to apply that lace over there, also with glue, and fold it to the back with more glue. I love Modpodge for this. It dries very quickly and it lets me advance to the next stage without needing to wait ages, you know? So those would be my different decorations, the brads and the button. For the brads, I'm just poking holes with that pokey tool on 3 of the 4 corners. I open the legs from the brads from behind. If for whatever reason your brads come out of your paper, you can always cut them with the timed hole scissors, like I'm doing here. I thought I wouldn't be doing it, but yes, I did it. Those scissors cut super well. And now I'm going to, well, add some of that gauze for detail, as I was telling you. You just need, with that tiny bit piece, you can decorate the whole card, because I'm only going to use little pieces here and there on the places that I folded and broke. So it will remind like if it was like an old canvas or an old picture or something that they used to be mounted on fabric, and then you put gesso, etc. to create the base of your artworks, I think. So basically, if you add that, you are kind of adding this aged look as well. I used this technique in an art journal video, which I'll link right now. It was about sewing and it was very nice actually, the outcome. So you can see a similar technique that I applied there. I think it turned out very nicely as well. So check it out if you want. So I'm just repeating those steps all over the different cracks that I did. And as you see, you just need a little piece, some glue, stick it, make sure that it shows, but just a tiny bit, and that's it. And now I'll attach the bottom. And for that we are sewing. It's minimal sewing. You just mark the hole from the front to the back, so you know where to poke it. Then you just place a knot, and I secure it with a piece of tape, and then I just do a cross on my bottom. Again, I use a piece of foam on the bottom to make sure that I don't perforate my surface, and then once I'm there, I'll also make another hole so I know where to put my needle from behind and finish that cross. It's a bit tricky because it's pretty sturdy, that paper plus the fabric plus the glue, but you can make it. And then once done, you just do another knot as you can, and then I prefer to secure it with a piece of tape. I prefer to use tape rather than cell tape because it's kind of more papery and it will stick better to the paper. So paper and paper stick better than plastic and paper basically. Now I'm marking where the holes are, the big ones let's say, and I'm going to apply texture paste, crackle paste. This is opaque and I can apply it with a brush and it will give me a hint of a crackle. Not a lot, just a tiny bit. All this card is about little details. It's not a super tremendous effect basically. If you want to see another crackle paste in work, you can watch the video that I'm linking right now, which is the art journal about autumn, and there I did a tree with a lot of crackle. Here I'm heat setting it because it's a tiny surface, so that speeds up my the crackle to actually crack basically. Now I'm applying some vintage photo distress, the regular one, on those cracks so they become a bit more brownish and they match better with my card. And now I'm attaching the two pieces that I prepared, top and bottom, with Modpodge. And I'm putting it there and pressing down very well to make sure that it makes contact and sticks in place. And I'll repeat the same with the bottom part. And now all that I have to do is prepare my card base. Again, this is a very big card, so I don't have a super big piece that I can fold in half. I like the cards that open top to bottom basically. So I'm just creating my card base with that piece, with that flap, and then with the HG gun to glue everything together. So that was all for today and for this mini series of videos. I hope you enjoyed them. I surely did, especially on the new techniques I challenged myself to try. I would love to know which one of the 4 cards you like the most. So if you want to enter the giveaway, leave me a comment with your favorite one and why you've chosen it. Also tell me which one is the common product that I've used in all 4 videos. I use it very often because I just love it. Among all your comments, I'll count 1 comment per person only. I will randomly select one and announce the winner on the release date of my new stamps, sometimes mid-late January. I'll write these details in the description section of the video so you can read them in detail. You'll be able to find there as well all the links of all the products that I've used in the video. The Amazon ones are affiliated links, so if you use them to navigate and buy in Amazon, you'll be supporting my channel should you want to do so. I'll also add the link to the 2 previous videos in the final seconds of this video. But before that, I just want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas. Be nice, not naughty. Hopefully Santa will get you some crafty stuff to play with in the new year. I have my fingers crossed for you. Enjoy the time with your loved ones, and I hope to see you back in 2019 with more videos and more inspiration. If you want to meet me in person, I'll be teaching at Creativation 2 classes with PaperArtsy and Ranger products. I'll also add the link to those classes in the description below in case you want to come. I would love to see you there and give you a hug in person. Okay, let's close this 2018 and see you in the next one. Bye!